What's up guys? We're here in Tasmania, and in this video, we're going to show you our top places to visit here. So hope you enjoy it. Tasmania is an island state of Australia and is located south of the mainland across the Bass Strait. It's known for having dramatic coastlines, pristine wilderness, and lots of unique wildlife. In fact, over 40% of the land in Tasmania is protected as national parks, reserves, and UNESCO World Heritage Sites. On top of that, the island also has a fascinating convict history, a vibrant art scene, and many tasty local wines. We did a 2-week road trip around Tasmania, and in this video, we'll show you the 10 most beautiful spots we discovered. Make sure to watch until the end, as we also give some helpful travel tips. Now let's dive in. We are Zach and Ina. We make helpful videos about destinations around the world so you can easily plan your own adventures. Launceston is Tasmania's second largest city and is located in the north of the island at the confluence of 2 rivers. This place is known for its vibrant food scene and is celebrated as a UNESCO City of Gastronomy. This recognition highlights its exceptional paddock-to-plate culture, where fresh, local produce from surrounding farms and wines from local vineyards directly supply its many acclaimed restaurants. Beyond going out for amazing dining experiences, our other favorite thing to do was taking a peaceful walk in the Cataract Gorge. This steep gorge sits on the edge of town and is surrounded by a forested river reserve. Located about 70 kilometers or 43 miles northwest of Hobart, Mountfield National Park is one of Tasmania's oldest and most diverse parks. It's most famous for having a variety of stunning waterfalls. The iconic 3-tiered Russell Falls is the most known one, and is accessible via an easy walk through lush temperate rainforest. We hiked the 6-kilometer or 3.7-mile Three Falls Circuit Trail, which combines the Russell Falls with 2 other beautiful waterfalls. While on the trail, there's also a chance to spot the elusive platypus in the park's streams. Unfortunately, we weren't lucky enough ourselves to see the platypus, but we did encounter a few patamelons. Tasmania's west coast is a rugged expanse, known for its dramatic wilderness and high rainfall. This unique climate is a result of the strong westerly winds, which bring moisture-laden air directly from the Southern Ocean. Besides its wild nature, this region is also steeped in history, defined by its boom-and-bust mining towns like Queenstown, Zeehan, and Strahan. We chose to stay in the small coastal village of Strahan, since it's the gateway to the famous Gordon River boat cruise and the West Coast Wilderness Railway. We opted for the Tipukana and the King train ride on a typically wet day. This 2.5-hour experience follows the King River into the rainforest, stopping at Lower Landing for a short walk and some honey tasting before returning to Strahan. The tour includes lots of history about the railway, as guides share stories of the people who built it and once called it their home. The Tasman Peninsula is located on the southeast corner of the island. This is a place filled with both natural beauty and rich history. Port Arthur is Tasmania's most famous convict settlement, with over 12,500 convicts who served their sentences here between 1830 and 1870. Today, you can take a walk through its historic buildings and ruins.
This historic site is quite big, almost like a village, so we definitely recommend grabbing a free map when you enter to help you navigate.
Adjacent to the historic site sits Tasman National Park, which is known for its towering sea cliffs and unique geological formations. It's also home to the famous Three Capes track, a multi-day hike that traverses 3 spectacular capes. We hiked to one of them, known as Cape Howe. To get here, we did a moderate 10-kilometer or 6.2-mile out-and-back trail from the park's visitor center. If you're less inclined to hike, the peninsula's spectacular coastline can also be admired from a boat cruise. Hobart is Tasmania's vibrant capital and is nestled in the southeast corner of the island. This is Tasmania's largest city and is home to the primary airport, making it the perfect starting or ending point for any island adventure. But what makes Hobart unique is its blend of colonial charm and contemporary culture. We especially enjoyed the Museum of Old and New Art, commonly referred to as MONA. This incredibly strange and thought-provoking museum definitely pushes boundaries. In fact, it embraces an anti-museum philosophy and is designed to be an immersive experience by prompting conversation and often triggering discomfort or reflection. We reach Mona by taking a scenic boat trip from the downtown harbor, which is a common and highly recommended way to get there. Back inside the city center, Salamanca Square is definitely a must-visit, with its many historical buildings and charming atmosphere. Other than that, the bus ride up to Kunanyi Mount Wellington was also well worth it. The panoramic views from its summit are some of the most breathtaking on the entire island, stretching far across the city and surrounding wilderness. Bruny Island is a unique national park located off Tasmania's east coast. It's accessible by a short 30-minute ferry ride from the town of Triabuna, which can get a little bit bumpy if it's a windy day. This car-free sanctuary is renowned for its incredible wildlife, particularly its abundant and famously docile wombats. You can also find wallabies and even Tasmanian devils if you're lucky. The most common way to explore the island is on foot or by bike. Since we visited as a day trip, we decided to first walk to the spectacular painted cliffs and its deserted beach. Afterwards, we continued to the ancient fossil cliffs, which made for a nice loop. The total walking time for this trek was about 2.5 hours, which gave us enough time to catch the last ferry back. But the highlight for us was undoubtedly seeing countless wombats happily roaming freely. If you want to dive deeper into the island's landscapes, we highly recommend staying overnight or renting a bicycle to cover more ground.
Hey everyone, we hope you've been enjoying this beautiful scenery so far.
And if you're planning your own Tasmania adventure, we've made an interactive guide that will complement everything you're seeing in this video perfectly. We poured hours of research and on-the-ground experience into creating this travel guide, and it's all available in an easy-to-use app. Think of it as your ultimate road trip companion right there on your phone. It's got everything. All the must-see spots, pre-designed itineraries to save you time, and all the essential links you'll need, making planning a breeze. You can grab it via the QR code or via the link in the description below the video. Now let's get back to that beautiful scenery of Tasmania. The Bay of Fires stretches along Tasmania's stunning northeast coast, from Binalong Bay in the south to Eddystone Point in the north. Its evocative name was given by Captain Tobias Furneaux in 1773, who observed numerous Aboriginal fires along the coastline. Today, this iconic region is celebrated for its pristine white sand beaches, crystal clear waters, and vibrant orange-hued granite boulders. We especially enjoyed all of the beaches around Binalong Bay and the gardens. If you have some extra time, St. Helens near Binalong Bay is also a worthy stop. This is the largest town on the east coast, and you can find tourist amenities as well as some impressive sand dunes. Freycinet National Park is a jewel located on a peninsula on Tasmania's east coast. It's home to the iconic Wineglass Bay, which is arguably the most photographed and famous landmark on the entire island. Besides that, the park is renowned for its stunning granite peaks, secluded coves, and beautiful beaches. There are tons of hikes that'll bring you into the heart of this remarkable nature. We embarked on the popular Wineglass Bay and Hazards Beach circuit, a 12-kilometer or 7.5-mile hike that first ascends to the renowned Wineglass Bay viewpoint. On this circuit, we also descended to the sandy shores of Wineglass Bay Beach and then continued along Hazards Beach. But for the best panoramic view, consider the hike to Mount Amos. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't suitable for that track's scramble section during our visit. If you're like us and end up getting stuck with some rain clouds during your time on the peninsula, there are a few other things you can do in the area. Grab a coffee in the small coastal town of Coles Bay, which serves as the main gateway to the national park. Or if you're interested in having some local wine, Devil's Corner is not too far from the park and is a great spot to do a tasting. You can also try high-quality oysters here, which Tasmania is known for. Bruny Island is located off Tasmania's southern coast and is easily accessible by a short 20-minute vehicle ferry from Kettering. The island is known for its coastal landscapes, abundant wildlife, and great local food. The star attraction is the famous Neck Lookout, which provides breathtaking views of the narrow isthmus that connects North and South Bruny. In addition, Adventure Bay is a must-visit for its peaceful beaches and the gorgeous Fluted Cape Walk. This 2.5-hour hike ascends over the Fluted Cape Cliffs, which are among the highest in the Southern Hemisphere. Make sure to wear shoes with decent grip for this track, since there aren't any railings around the cliff edges. There's one other thing that we recommend doing before you leave the island, and that's going on a self-drive safari to spot the white Bennett's wallabies. A genetic defect has caused a change in the balance of melanin, creating their white fur. Bruny Island is one of the only places in the world where you can see these rare creatures, and we were lucky to find a few of them at dusk near the town of Alona. This town also has some nice beachfront areas where you can watch the sunset and take in the last scenes of the island's beautiful nature. Cradle Mountain Lake St. Clair National Park is the crown jewel of Tasmania's wilderness. Located in the Central Highlands, this UNESCO World Heritage Area stretches more than 160 kilometers or 100 miles. The area covers everything from Cradle Mountain in the north to the deepest lake in Australia in the south, which is Lake St. Clair. You'll also find ancient rainforests, alpine heathlands, dramatic mountain peaks, and a diverse range of wildlife. Our favorite part of the park was the picturesque Dove Lake, which is framed by Cradle Mountain in the background. Here, we hiked the Dove Lake Circuit, which had some of the best views of the peaks. You'll also be treated with fresh forest air as you meander through the trees and along the lake's edge. But one of the things that stuck with us was how quickly the weather can change in these mountains. You can experience all 4 seasons in the same day up here any time of the year, so make sure you dress warm and layer up. Continuing beyond the lake, we also hiked to Ronny Creek, where we spotted numerous wombats during golden hour. The area has many other walks to choose from as well, from short boardwalks to peak hikes, and the challenging multi-day overland track. But if you're looking to find the rare Tasmanian devil during your trip, then we recommend visiting the Devils at Cradle, which is a conservation sanctuary. It's extremely difficult to spot them in the wild, so this is likely your best chance to see them up close. As these creatures are mostly active at night, we opted for the After Dark feeding tour. Since spots are limited for this experience, it's best to book it in advance. We left a link in the description below the video in case you want to book the same one. Now, we'll share our top 3 travel tips for Tasmania. First, while the main roads are generally well maintained, be aware that most are single lane in each direction. A lot of the roads are also narrow and winding. Furthermore, many scenic routes to popular attractions involve unsealed dirt or gravel roads, such as the approach to some of the hiking trails in Tasman National Park. Plan your fuel stops carefully, since towns with groceries and supplies can be limited. It's best to stock up whenever possible. Also, you should limit driving after dusk or maintain significantly reduced speeds due to the abundance of wallabies and other wildlife that become highly active on roads, which poses a significant collision risk. Tasmania's best sites are spread out, making a car or camper van the ideal way to explore. Relying solely on public transport is not feasible here. Be aware that driving distances can be surprisingly large, so basing yourself in one city like Hobart isn't practical for seeing the whole island. A camper van offers immense freedom and access to some free campsites, but be prepared for potentially extreme and rapidly changing weather, which can add a layer of challenge. For the best chance of pleasant weather and outdoor enjoyment, plan your visit between December and February. We visited in early April and experienced rain for a lot of our days, with unexpectedly cold temperatures and even overnight snow in Cradle Mountain. While Tasmania's weather is notoriously unpredictable year-round, the summer months generally offer the highest likelihood of sunshine, milder temperatures, and less extreme winds, making this time ideal for hiking and exploring the diverse landscapes. And if you're planning your Tasmania trip, we recommend checking out our interactive travel guide. Within a mobile app, you'll find more tips, all the must-see destinations, pre-designed itineraries to save you time, and all the essential links you'll need to enjoy your own trip here. Find a link to this guide, as well as other important links in the description below this video. We'll catch you on the next adventure.